The Quebec government is planning to introduce this bill, this Charter of Values. It's caused a lot of controversy. Everybody outside of Quebec is wondering what's going on here, what's behind all this. Can you give me some context, some background? Where did this come from? Why is this happening at this particular point?
One of the factors is this relationship between secularity and religion, the discussion, ongoing discussion. So the bishops have been saying what is secular, and it is a good thing that it is secular, is the state. But society is not secular, society is pluralist. There are different systems of creeds and values in society. But then what do you mean by secular state and religion? So some will say, okay, if you're secular as a state, it means nothing religious comes in. Everything that is religious has to go out. Another point of view could be to say, if you're secular, it's a good thing because it is there to say that a system of a creed is not there to be imposed on people. A system of values is not there to be imposed on people. So there's a space, open space for liberty. So those two ways to see secularity or secular state, and there's a discussion going there.
So many people might have assumed that the Quebec bishops would come out with a blanket statement against this Charter of Values, but that's not the case. It's more complicated than that, as you said. So what specifically do you support and what do you critique in this charter?
Well, the Quebec bishops have not only been reflecting on this since this has come out in the open, in the public. Last November of last year, we published a message, a pastoral message, Catholics in a pluralist Quebec. And we've been reflecting on this for years. We believe in Quebec, just as the Universal Church believes, that it is important that there be a separation between church and state. No official religion, but at the same time, no official atheism. In a democratic society, it's very important that the government play its role of making sure, as the Universal Declaration of Rights says, and that we go by, that the government respect the freedom of religion. They're not there to be favorites on one side or one religion or another, but they're not to impede the private and public expression of religion. And one of the things that really annoys us, and we don't think it's a good road to go by, is to limit this expression in the public arena. For example, in the proposal that the government is bringing forth right now, they want to eliminate all public signs of religion, a cross, a kippah, a veil, or any other Star of David, anything that says, oh, you're a Christian, oh, you're Jewish. We don't see a problem with that. Someone who's a public servant, in a reasonable way, can wear his little cross or whatever. What's important if he's a public servant? That he be a professional, competent, welcoming, and not impose his faith or his beliefs to the people he serves, whether they be in the health field or in the government field. That's very important for us. And what is proposed now is to eliminate. So we'll be discriminating against the free expression in the public arena.
Do you think that the proponents of this charter see it in the same way, or is there some disconnect in our understanding of what religious freedom, what religious liberty means? Because I don't think anybody who would support this would say, yes, we're for squashing religious freedom. They would see this as upholding religious freedom. So where's the disconnect there?
I don't think it's a question just of religious freedom. I think in the proposal, and what I've heard in different expressions from some of the people of the government, is they may not see religion as a positive thing for society. We've heard it when one of the ministers said, with the little children in kindergarten or in where they preschool, we want to protect them from religion. Well, I'm sorry. Religion, we do not need to be protected from religion. So there may be something behind this that is not very well connected.
But it's a mentality also to expulse religion from everything that is public. And for instance, if a little girl, 4 years old, if she says Jesus, then she will be told you don't talk about Jesus, you don't see Jesus. You don't say that. If the 8-year-old girl in the class, if the teacher asks the questions, what do we celebrate at Christmas? If she says, we celebrate the birth of Christ, she will be reprimanded because you don't say that. So it's already happening. If you're 15 years old and the teacher asks, who goes to Mass? And someone raises her hand or his hand and says, I go to Mass, he'll be laughed at. So it's already happening. What's the place of religion in public space? So in that sense, the way it's portrayed, it's like you cannot have secularity with religion going hand in hand. We think they can go hand in hand if we don't forget that secularity means respect of the dignity of each human being, respect of his liberty, and not imposing any creed on the people. And this is the discussion that is going on.
Offer some practical advice here for us. For an everyday Catholic, this is a very complicated issue, but it's something that's very important to understand. What are, 1 or 2 points, this is what you should learn more about, or this is what you should be thinking about or talking about in your family, in your parish, that will help us to address this issue?
Yeah, I think the least we can say, it is not to the government to decide how people dress. The problem of putting that in a charter, it's the end of discussion. Of course, there can be need to understand each other better when there are differences that meet together in the public space. But it's so that's what we do. We talk, we exchange, we meet others, and we get to know each other better. So it's not about, okay, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. No, it's okay. I want to see it. I want to see people as who they are, respect them as who they are with their beliefs, and then meet them and talk with them and walk with them and walk together. We improve ourselves when we get to know each other in our differences and learn from each other.
And I'd add this. The people of Quebec have been mostly throughout history, mostly Catholics, but the people of Quebec have had a very open mind to welcome people from other nations. In the 1800s, we received thousands and thousands of people, especially from Ireland. We welcomed them. They were a different culture, a different language. We shared the same religion mostly, but they were welcome and they found their place in society. In the 70s, we received thousands of what we call the boat people who came from Asia. We came from Vietnam and other countries. They were of other culture, other language, other religion, and they were welcome and they found their place in our society. What I found troubling right now with this charter, what is proposed, they want to show Quebec people that we cannot deal with the difference anymore. The government has to make rules and regulations, and they're not telling us, but the way that this is going on is breaking apart and making people afraid of each other. That's not good. That's not the role of the government. And I find that this is very dangerous. And look at the expressions of extremes on both sides right now. That's not good. This is not bringing Quebec together. It's dividing us. We do not need that. And I think that the people from different religions, and most people in most religions, are people who are level-headed, who are open to others. We can learn to live with each other and share and learn from one another.
Archbishop Lacroix, thank you very much. Archbishop Lépine, thank you for your time.